Hello everyone! Today we're going to make this card. I have some kind of weird obsession with shadow boxes lately, so we're doing sort of another one with the window sheets. And you see the butterflies on the inside, and this is what it looks like on the inside. I didn't finish any kind of greeting on the inside, but I may do that again like I have in the past later and make a new video for that, but we'll see. So this is what we've got. See how it's all shimmery? We got some shimmer paint. And the butterflies have shimmer paint on them as well. Alright, so let's get started. You're going to take a piece of Midnight Muse, and it's cut at 4 1/4 by 11, and you're going to score it twice. You're going to score it at 5 3/8 and 5 5/8. Okay, so just go ahead and score it twice, and you'll see why in a little bit. You're also going to take a piece of very vanilla cardstock, and you see that I've already sort of started working on this to kind of cut back on the time a little bit. This piece is cut at 4 by 5 1/8, and I'm actually going to show you what I did with it right now. Alright, so you're going to take one end and you're going to line it up. Again, I'm using this side of my trimmer, and you're going to line it up at the 1/2 inch mark, the 1/2 inch line right here. So you're going to use the ruler like you have in the past. And you're going to get your point lined up to the 3/8 mark. Alright, and then you'll just take it down to 3 5/8, which you can't see that. It's about right there. So you'll just take it and you'll cut it down from 3/8 of an inch down to 3 5/8 of an inch. I've already done that on this side. Then you're going to take this side of your cardstock and you're going to line it up to the 3 inch mark over here. Then you're going to go again from 3/8 of an inch down to 3 5/8 of an inch down here. And you'll make that cut, and you're going to turn it, and you're going to line it up to the 3/8 of an inch mark, which this, I don't know how well you can see it, but here's your little groove next to it where this connects. That's 1/8 of an inch, so there's 1, 2, 3/8 of an inch right here. Alright, so you'll line it up to that, and you're just going to cut from cut point to cut point. So you would just take it down, cut it, and then you're going to do the same thing, lining it up again to the 3/8 of an inch, and cut from, scoot it up a little bit, cut point to cut point. Now I didn't cut this one just so I could kind of show you guys what I mean. So cut point, down to cut point, and you'll just pop that piece out like that. So that's what you're going to have. Alright, so then taking this piece, you are going to line it up on whichever side. You'll put a little bit of repositionable adhesive on the back of it to hold it steady onto your Midnight Muse piece. Okay, and I realize I'm doing this upside down, but you guys will hopefully get the point. You're just going to get it set on your cardstock where you would want it normally. Okay, press it down a little bit, and you're just going to, the easiest way to do this is just to take a pencil and trace this box onto the Midnight Muse piece. Okay, then you're going to do what we've done before to make the shadow box. So you're just going to take it and using that box, and I don't know how you can kind of see it, so using the box you've just drawn, use that as a guideline for your score marks. So you'll just take it and, let's go up here for right now. I don't know how well you guys can see that. And I always just kind of eyeball it where the center is. I can see my little drawn line in the center of this, and I kind of just figure it out where the center is. And I just score from point to point. And then I go in 1/4 of an inch. So, and I'm going in towards this way. So you'll see that you can find where your 1/4 inch mark is. And you're just going to score it again from point to point. Okay, then you can flip it over. And let's see if we can get you on camera. I cannot get you guys on camera very well, but you're going to do the same thing where you're going to line it up in the center so you can make that score line. And score from point to point. And again, take it in another 1/4 inch. Again, I'm using this side of my trimmer to do that. And score from point to point. Okay, now you're going to flip it this way. Bring it down again. And line it up. And score from point to point. And this is the part that gets a little tricky. You'll probably want to use this side of your trimmer as your guide to pull it in a 1/4 inch. So you're going to move it over back that way, back to your right, and you'll want to move it over to 8 3/8 inch, and do the score lines again from point to point, or line to line in this case. Okay, and lining it up again on the other side. Hopefully you can see that. I'm sorry if you guys can't see this very well. Kind of hard to get the camera where exactly I need it for you guys to see. But you're going to go ahead and score again. And this time you're going to shift your paper that way to your left, a 1/4 inch. That works. Okay? So you can see the score lines. See how they all work right here. Alright, so then you're going to cut from this point to this point, and this point to this point. Alright, so then, like I've shown you before, you're going to fold these in upwards. All of them will go upwards. Good, and you can give them a little bit of a good crease with a bone folder. Right, and then the other score lines you're going to fold away from you. Okay. And again, you'll just give it a nice solid crease with the bone folder. And just kind of bring this back a little bit. So then you have your shadow box. So this window sheet, which I don't know how well you can see that, it measures at 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. And then you're going to use 2 pieces of the summer smooches. They're different sizes. One is 1 9/16 by 3 1/8, and the other one is 1 9/16 by 3 1/4. Alright, and you're also going to use another piece of summer smooches, and this one is a 1/2 inch by 3 1/8. And this one will go with the other piece that measures out in length at 3 1/8. Okay, set those aside. You're also going to use a piece of satin stitched Midnight Muse ribbon, and this measures at roughly about 6 inches. And then you're going to make another, just a little bow out of one. So you're going to use basically just a scrap piece of Whisper White and your Papillon Potpourri stamp set. And I've used the bigger butterfly, this one, and one of the littler ones, this one. And I inked them up in Midnight Muse and stamped them down. So I stamped one big one and 2 little ones down. And this is what I did with them. I actually put them on glue dots, these 2. I finished these out already, but I wanted to show you what I did. So you stamp them down in Midnight Muse ink, and then you take some Baja Breeze and a sponge dauber. And you're just going to color in the butterflies. You're going to sponge the Baja Breeze in the inside of the butterflies, and you can just make a mess of it. You don't have to go inside the lines because you're going to punch them out with the butterfly punches. So you're going to use the big butterfly punch, the regular one from the regular catalog, and then you're going to use the one that's in the spring catalog, which I believe is called the Bitty Butterfly. I've already punched those bitty ones out, so I'm just going to punch this one out. Okay, let's take a piece of scrap paper. You see mine's a mess here. And you're going to use some of the shimmer paint and an aqua painter, and you're going to put some water in your aqua painter, but you don't need the brush to be very wet for this, so just a little damp is good. You don't want it to be just oozing with water all over. And I actually just use you shake this up, and I actually just use the paint that's in the cap for this because you really don't need a whole lot. So you're just going to brush the shimmer paint onto your butterfly so that it gives it sort of a really pretty shimmery kind of look to it. And alright, and let that dry. It doesn't take very long for these to dry at all. And then we're going to dress up the front of this piece. So what we're going to do is just start stamping flowers. And I've used the Stippled Blossom stamp set for that. I'm using this flower, this one, and this little sprig of leaves. And I'm using Midnight Muse and Baja Breeze. So I'm using Midnight Muse with this big stamp, and I'm using it also with this littler one, this little flower, but I'm also using some Baja Breeze with this flower. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and use the littler flower. I'm just going to stamp randomly throughout there as well. Alright, and now I'm going to use the Baja Breeze. Now we're going to use the Gumball Green and that sprig of leaves, and we're just going to stamp randomly throughout. And what I did was I inked it up, stamped it down off the scrap, and then stamped it onto the piece so that it was subtle. I don't want it real dark, so I wanted it to be kind of subtle. So just ink it up real well. I'm going to take my spritzer and my Midnight Muse marker, and I'm going to spritz a little bit of this Midnight Muse onto the piece. So you're just going to take it, hopefully you guys worked with one of these before, just take it and line it up to the tip. I don't know how well you can see that. So you take the tip of the marker and line it up to the tip of the spritzer. Ooh! I have some new Stampin' Up! Stuff that's coming. It's out there with the UPS dude right now. Oh, it's working pretty well right now. Awesome. So you'll just spritz it a little bit. Check it out. You're about to hear my doorbell. And my Stampin' Up! Stuff's here. Yay! Ding dong! Did you hear it? Am I a total dork or what? I don't know about you guys, but I get very excited when my Stampin' Up! Stuff comes. Alright, so I don't know how well you can see that. You can kind of see it. There's some spritzes right there. When you do it, you'll see it. It'll be a lot easier for you to see, but I don't know. I tried. Alright, then you're going to take your Midnight Muse and your Baja Breeze first, and a sponge dauber. Sponge the heck out of this thing. Close that up, and then you're going to use your Midnight Muse and a sponge dauber. And you're not going to go in as deep to the piece as you did with the Baja Breeze. You're just going to kind of keep it out more towards the edges. It's still going to go in a little bit deep, and you want it darker in some areas and lighter in others. Okay. And then you're going to sponge the edges. Okay, so it'll look like that. Alright, so I pulled it in really tight so that I can show you what we're going to do with the shimmer paint. We're just going to take the white surfaces of the flowers and only the darker ones. So we're going to leave these lighter ones unshimmered. But shake your shimmer paint up, use your aqua painter again, and you're just going to start painting in these whiter and they're not very white now because they've been colored in with the sponges, but I hope you get my point. Don't get it on, if you can help it, don't put it on any of the blue, the Midnight Muse bluer areas of the flower. Alright, so we're done with that. So I'm going to set that aside and let that dry. Alright, so using the 1 9/16 by 3 1/8 inch Summer Smooches piece and the 1/2 inch by 3 1/8 inch Summer Smooches piece, I'm just going to adhere those two together. I'm going to adhere this piece to the inside of the base. And you can go ahead and put some adhesive on the other piece, the 1 9/16 by 3 1/4 inch piece. Alright, just press those down, get them nice and stuck together. Now you're going to take all your butterflies and put them on glue dots. And what you'll want to do is put your big one on first, so that you can get that one sort of centered, and then put your littler ones on either side. Rough up those wings a little bit, or her wings. Figure out roughly where the center is. Check it out. So I've just gone ahead and used some of these silver beads to embellish the butterflies. So I'm using 4 for the little butterflies, the bitty butterflies, and 5 for the big one. There we go. We're going to put the ribbon on the piece, on this piece, and I'm going to use sticky strip for that. So I'm going to put 2 little pieces across the back of this piece. Oops. Alright, and peel them off. All the way around. Okay, then take some adhesive and put it along the box. And just put your window on that, your window sheet. Just like that. Alright, and more adhesive. And adhere it to the front of your card. Oh my god. I put my butterflies on upside down. So I ran out of battery time, so I'm back, and I was so close to finishing it that I figured I might as well go ahead and finish it and just come back and show you what I've done. So I just adhered this whole piece to the base of the card, and I took a glue dot and adhered the bow to this ribbon. So there it is, and you'll just fold those 2 score lines you made in the beginning, and there you go. It sits up just like that. With those 2 score lines folded like that, it gives you enough space on the inside to allow for room for the shadow box. And there you have it. You guys love it? Alright, I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you put your butterflies on the right way. I'm sorry I messed that up. That'll teach me to show you how to do things upside down. It doesn't work out that well for me. And now you see why I usually do it, so that it's facing me and kind of upside down for you guys. Sorry, but I have a tendency to get a little bit harebrained, and that happened just then, so you live and learn. Anyways, again, I hope that you enjoyed it. Until next time, happy stamping!